Michigan has just defeated Washington for the national championship, and I just want to come on here and discuss this game for a little bit because there's a lot of thoughts and feelings of what went on in the game itself, what went right for Michigan, what went wrong for Washington, so I just want to talk about it. So Michigan walked away with a 34-13 victory. They held Washington to the fewest amount of points they've scored all year. And honestly, this was just a good team in Washington getting outplayed by a superior team in Michigan. Washington has had a great year. They have a great roster, very talented, great coaching. I mean, they had it all. This was their year to win it, and they just didn't finish the job, really. I don't believe they were frauds at all. I think they earned it to get here. I mean, they played a really good team in Texas to make it to the national championship. I mean, they played in a very competitive Pac-12. They just met their match, and they played a better team, and they lost. I mean, Michigan's defense basically made Michael Penix a non-factor. They locked up Rome Odunze. Dylan Johnson had an injury before the game, so the run game was going to be non-existent, and it was. I mean, this defense clamped up. This defense is honestly incredible. They locked up everybody in their path this year. I mean, I didn't really understand just how good this Michigan defense was until the Rose Bowl. I really didn't. Like, I thought, it was really Michigan played. They played a really weak Ohio State team. Okay, whatever. But, like, if you asked analysts what the deciding factor of this national championship game was going to be, most of them said, oh, well, this game is going to be decided by how Michigan's defense is able to limit the Huskies' offense. And guess what? They limited the Huskies' offense. They made them very uncomfortable. And let's not pretend like the Wolverines' offense was dead either. Like, it was just a bunch of deadbeats. Now, I'll say this. I didn't think quarterback J.J. McCarthy played his best. He played okay down the stretch. He played good when he needed to. But he didn't do much. To be fair, he didn't throw the ball a ton either. I mean, it was the run that killed Washington. We saw Donavan Edwards break off 2 40-plus touchdown runs. Then Blake Corrum had 134 yards, 2 touchdowns of his own. He was named the offensive player of the game. So, honestly, J.J. McCarthy didn't have to do very much. Now, let me just say that I believe that the score that we see of 34-13 does not exactly reflect the game itself. And what I'm saying by that is this game didn't turn into a game out of reach until about 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. And honestly, you can argue that it was further than that. But I believe it was when Blake Corrum gets his touchdown to put Michigan up 14 late in the game, followed by Michael Penix really forced interception on fourth down. And the rest of the game was history. But before that, it was a defensive battle. Most of the time, it was 20-13. I mean, the offenses were having to punt, they were having to take field goals, and it was a really good defensive game until that point. And Washington had a great defensive comeback late in the first half. I mean, they were down 14-3, and then they put together something to only be down 17-10 at half. I mean, they held Michigan to many field goals when they were in scoring position. I mean, honestly, hats off to this Husky defense. They did great, all things considered. They really couldn't have done anything more other than creating a turnover, which is extremely tough playing this Michigan offense. As for quarterback Michael Penix, he was off all night. He did not have a good game. He never got in a rhythm. I mean, there was a perfect example of that when he missed the wide open fourth down throw to Rome Odunze. I mean, there was nobody near that guy. I mean, most likely he could have been gone for a touchdown, and Penix just missed him. That's it. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions. He was given a hard time by this elite defense, and then to make matters just that much worse, he was limping on his ankle many times in this game, and then as we saw him walk off, he was grabbing his rib almost. So I'm not sure if Penix got hurt, but I'm sure we will hear in the coming days he definitely had some discomfort, and if he is hurt to an extent, that is not good. It's not promising because Michael Penix Jr. is a guy that has high NFL aspirations, high NFL skill, high NFL potential. However, his ability to stay healthy will be questioned. His clutch gene will be questioned. He had an off night against a phenomenal defense, and that's it. Jim Harbaugh has many decisions to make of whether he wants an NFL job or not. If he wants it, it's his for the taking. There are teams that will hire Jim Harbaugh. However, if he's happy, then he'll be staying in Ann Arbor. There's no doubt about it. Michigan played a phenomenal game. They were coached very well by Jim Harbaugh. I mean, honestly, I didn't really care who won this game. I was leaning more towards Washington because I really do like Michael Penix. I like Kalen DeBoer. And I thought this was Washington's year. But I'm just glad this game didn't turn into like a TCU Georgia blowout like last year, where it was just absolutely embarrassing. I mean, Michigan was the better team, and they truly deserved this one. So congratulations to the Wolverines on an incredible national championship season.